You know, these are just 4 stories of like human beings finding enormous grace in the most unlikely places. Just keep dancing, young man, just keep dancing. You see, like this. I stayed in that pub for 2 hours dancing and drinking Kolsch. I never wanted to leave. Somehow, in that short period, it all seemed to come to a head, to rise up and wash through my system, to be exposed. I love that word. To be exposed and to be accepted. I think what Jesus said was like, would anybody like to just be exposed, so to speak? Because whatever you're willing to share with me, I'm willing to take. I will not look away. See, the thing about Jesus was, the reason he was so in communion with God is because he chose to be intimate with God. And he discovered that God never looked away, and then he started trusting it. And then he had nothing to hide. I mean, Jesus' freedom was the product of like, I don't have a lot to hide. You want me to share something? It's not going to be braggadocio, but I'll share it. There's nothing I won't say. And if you need to tell anything to me, I'm your man. Not because I'm brilliant, but because I've explored every facet of my humanity and discovered that it's potentially divine. So we can talk about anything. And you're with him, you're like, really? Anything? I did some funky things that I'm really ashamed of. Yeah, I hear you. Pretty soon you're saying funky things. The woman at the well told him everything. And she left, she was free. Because she told him everything, that's why she was free. I never wanted to leave. Somehow in that short period, to be exposed and to be accepted. Not totally, but I did seem to come to some sort of peace about it all, enough at any rate, to carry on. I finally got up to go and gestured goodbye to all the men. They waved and kept dancing. Nobody ever charged me for the beer. One last one. We okay for one last one? I'll pay you. See, that's the thing when you get to do something you love. Then you can stay for a long time. I guess one of my prayers is that you cooperate with the blessing just for an era of your life of doing something that you experience as a gift. I don't understand it, but it's good. This is another one from Grace Mimi Raymond, and it's called The Long Way Home. Oftentimes of crisis are times of discovery, periods when we cannot maintain our old ways of doing things and enter into a steep learning curve. Sometimes it takes a crisis to initiate growth. If we had time and anybody wanted to stick around for a while, we could all talk about moments of our life like, whoa, oh man, I would never have chosen that, but that was a really important time in my life. So she just contextualizes the story with that. In Chinese, if you want to write the word crisis, the only way to write the word crisis is suffering, and you have to use 2 symbols in Chinese. One of them means suffering, one of them means opportunity. And that's what a crisis is. I love that. I had as a patient a woman who was in her 8th year of recovery from cervical cancer. She had come weekly while she was undergoing cancer treatment, but now we saw each other only for touch-ups when things became stressful for her. Helen was a truly gorgeous woman who spent hours on her appearance. Even during the worst of her chemotherapy and illness, her nails had been perfect, her wigs exquisite. No one had seen her face without makeup since she was a child. She had been single for several years. When she was married, she always awoke 30 minutes before her husband did to be fully made up and dressed before he opened his eyes. Helen came to see me for one of her touch-ups because she had become engaged. She described her fiancé as a wonderful person, kind, loyal, intelligent, and humorous. He was a highly successful and creative businessman. They had been living together for some time and got on very well. She described him as, quote, perfect, with one exception. He lacked passion. Their romantic love life was pleasant but boring. He asked her permission every time he kissed her. She was not sure that she wanted, this was what she wanted in a man. All this changed abruptly on October 17, 1989 at 5:04 p.m. On that afternoon, Helen was in one of downtown San Francisco's finest department stores, seeking the perfect outfit for a business dinner honoring her fiancé. In the company of a personal shopper, she was in a dressing room wearing a fuchsia silk dress that she had decided was, quote, just right. Both women were admiring the dress when the shopper suggested she wear it up to the 7th floor and match it to a pair of shoes. That's the kind of thing a personal shopper will do for you. You know, you're like, what could I do now? I know, let's go to the 7th floor and find matching shoes. Sweet. I should get a personal shopper because I wear Birkenstocks all the time. Maybe they'd go like, wow, perhaps wingtips, buddy. Then you won't be the only employee of your own company. Yeah, anyway. So I'll keep you posted on that. Leaving all her belongings in the locked dressing room, she went to the shoe department. She had just put on a pair of